Hi, in this video I'm going to run you through how to get the most out of your IrriMAX Live graphs. I'm going to start already logged in on my home screen. I'm going to go into my customer, Jenny Farmer, and open up the only graph that we've got in there at the moment. Okay, so by default the first view is all data, so we can play with some of those settings. So if I change it to say 14-day view, it'll show the most recent 14 days. Now if I want to look at 14 days a while ago, I can center the graph on the 10th of April, and now that's 14 days centered on the 10th. The next button's across, I can go back another 14 days, and then finally the last button is to go back to the most recent 14 days. Now moving down, we've got different options what we can do to the graph. So if I change to zoom mode instead of scroll mode, I can click on the graph to zoom in, so we go from 14 days to 7 days, and then to 3 days. And then if you look down the bottom, we always look for this text at the bottom or the question marks on some of the pages for help. So here it's saying if we click on a vertical margin, zoom out, and we're back to 7 days. Click again, 14 days, and so forth. The next item in the menu is place ruler. So this one's quite helpful. So if I want to place a ruler, see how much that graph has increased after an irrigation or rain, I'll place one ruler there, and we'll place another one directly after it. And so you can see not quite on the middle there, but we've got an 18 mil increase now. If I say I did put those rulers in not quite the right place, again look down the bottom, and click on the outside, and it takes the rulers away, and you can try again. So I'll just remove that ruler. The next item is the main comment. So the main comment is this up here where it's got the logger ID. So if I say replanted 1st April and apply that, you'll see that comment's now inserted up the top. Now full point, so what I might do for full point, I'll go back to all data so I can get a good overview, and under enter full point. So this first box I can click when I want my full point to start, so it's quite useful for growth stages, which we'll get to a little bit later. You can either pick there or you can click on the graph. If I click on the graph, say you want my full point would be that point there, it gives me the date and the number, so I'll just delete that date. I want the full point to apply to the whole set of data, and I'll just round it off, 175, and apply that. Or just for example, I'll set a refill point at say 130 maybe. And I'll put the onset of stress at 80. Finally, there's growth stages. We can say, like I was saying before, we enter a growth stage at this point here. So autumn. And it puts in a growth stage, and then we could change our refill lines accordingly for each growth stage using the dates. And you can also remove a growth stage. Finally, if you want to remove any of those points that we've set, so for example we want to remove the refill point, we just leave all fields blank, and it removes that point. This brief overview should get you started and get you into using your IrriMAX live graphs.